So I'm sure all of you guys are really bored during this quarantine. And I'm going to offer something really fun and easy to do so you're not as bored. I'm going to be making brownies and showing you how to make them. You guys should all listen to this because it takes up so much time without even realizing because it's so much fun to do. And you get a yummy treat out of it, so why wouldn't you want to do that? First, you're going to need to get some ingredients out. You're going to want to use the ingredients and then finally bake and then eat them. That sounds easy, right? It's great. So first you want to prep your ingredients. You're going to need a 13 by 9-inch pan, which I have here. You're going to need 2 pouches of brownie mix, 2/3 cup of vegetable oil, 2/3 cup of water, and then 2 eggs. So once you have all of that out, you're going to follow the directions on any box that you used of the brownies and start putting them into your mixing bowl. Before I do any of that though, I'm going to preheat the oven first because I feel like that's easy, so the time I'm done with my brownies, it'll be ready to put into the oven. So you're going to want to preheat your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to turn my oven on, preheat it, hold it down, 325, and there you go, simple as that. So then I'm going to continue my directions. First, you're going to want to spray your pan. I always do this first, just in case I forget. I want to make sure I have it done. You're just going to open it and spray the bottom gently. You don't need that much. And then next, you're going to start off cracking your eggs because I like to put my eggs in there first, just in case I miss any of the shell. One egg done, and then my next egg. And then I'm just throwing out the shells in the garbage can. And for me, I got a little shell in there. So I'm just going to scoop it out with my finger. If you're not comfortable with that, you could use a spoon or a fork. Next, I'm going to pour in my vegetable oil. Make sure you get all of it in there. Sometimes it'll stick to whatever measuring cup you use. And then you're going to pour your water in as well. So finally, when all of that's in your mixing bowl, you're going to whisk it together. Just until it looks mixed enough to make sure the eggs get that yellowy color all around. And you're going to keep on doing that until you feel it's mixed enough. I'm just going to do that for probably 30 more seconds because mine's looking pretty good. It's going to be like a light yellow color. Shortly after that, you're going to want to add in your 2 pouches of brownie mix. Mine, I have to cut open. Some, they might just be open already if you have an open pack. And you're just going to pour these in here just like this. And I know what you might be thinking, 2? That's a lot. Well, for this recipe, it might seem like a lot, but it's going to make the perfect brownies that you'll ever have. So pouring in the next one. And be careful you don't get this on you. No one wants brownie mix all over them, especially when you're wearing white like me. So then you're just going to mix all of this together. You're going to want to get all the way down to the bottom so it doesn't get stuck down there, and you're going to want to mix it all the way through. Soon the powder is just going to turn into like this texture. It's like liquidy, kind of like, it's going to be brown, a darker brown than the mix, and you're going to want to see that throughout your whole entire batter. You want to make sure you don't have any powder left in there. You want it to be like that so the whole thing cooks through evenly. And this mixing might take longer because it is thicker and it is a lot of brownie mix as well. So you might have to do this a while depending on how much brownie mix you have and how much you use and how strong you are. Like for me, mine looks pretty good so far. I don't know if you see from that, but it looks good. I'm just going to keep mixing a little longer. So once you think it's really good mix and you think you got all the chunks out and all the sugar and everything out of there and it's not chunky, you're gonna pour this all into the pan. But mine, I think I need to stir still a little longer because I still see chunks. This is probably going to be the longest part of making brownies, especially if you want them to be nice and soft and you don't want any chunks in there. Okay, so mine's looking pretty good. And I'm just going to pour it in the pan. Because I want to be safe and I don't want to get it all over my counters, I'm going to go right on top of it and make sure I get everything out. I also have a spatula with me so I could get the rest out of it because there's going to be a lot of extra. And my brownies do have chocolate chips in them from the package, so I want to make sure I get everything out of the bottom. This also might be a while if you want to try to get as most as possible, or if you don't really care, depending on you. I like to get everything because I do have a big family as well, and we all love brownies and making them. Okay, and then you want to make sure it's mixed all in the pan all evenly. Okay, so that's about good. Alright, so when your oven is preheating, or preheated rather, you're going to want to put these in there. But before you do that, you want to make sure you have oven mitts on because your oven could be very hot by the time it preheats. So I have 2 oven mitts here that I'm going to use for when my oven preheats, and I'm going to put this in there. When you do that, as soon as you're done, you're going to want to put your timer on for 50 to 55 minutes. My oven heats quicker, so I'm going to do 50 minutes and then check on it once it comes out. So I'm going to bring this over here, waiting for my oven to be done preheating, and then I'll see you guys once it's done. Okay, so my oven is now preheated, so I'm going to put my brownies in the oven. Charlie, can you go that way? Good boy.
Come here, buddy.
Okay, so I'm going to open my oven, and it's going to be very hot, so you want to make sure you have oven mitts. I'm going to grab my pan on both sides so it's sturdy and put it in the top row of my oven. It doesn't matter what row you put it in, I just prefer the top. You're going to then close your oven and then put the timer on for 50 minutes. I'm going all the way up to 50, or you could do 55. The directions say either or, whatever you prefer and however hot your oven is on. Alright? So it has been the 50 minutes, and I'm going to test if my brownies are done with the toothpick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the oven, pull out the first rack a little bit with my oven mitt, just so I can reach in there to test my brownies. You're going to dip the toothpick in the middle of the brownie, and if there's any brownie on it, you're going to put it back in for about 5 minutes. There's no more brownie on mine, so I'm going to take mine out of the oven. And then if you do put yours back in there, put it in for about 5 more minutes, and then do the same technique. Test it with the toothpick again, and then see if it's done yet. If not, put it in for more time. Mine's done. I'm going to take it out of the oven. I'm going to wait 5 to 7 minutes before cutting it into squares so it's not too soft. And then you could eat it. Enjoy!